Good afternoon, it's Liam Neild here with your MU review for Manchester United's 2-1 victory. Yes, you heard me correctly, 2-1 victory over Swansea City in the Barclays Premier League. And it's like Christmas came a week or two late for me. I suppose it has only been a week. Time does fly. But great start to 2016. Couldn't be more happy. I mean, we did make a bit of a hash of it. We did make it very difficult for ourselves, but we got the job done. And to be honest, that's all we can really hope for at this point. We've snapped, I think, an 8-game winless run going back to the 21st of November. So that is a massive, massive boost for us. And let's dive straight into the game. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it was very similar to every other game we've had this season. Well, not every other game, but most games at Old Trafford where we just lacked a bit of spark, lacked a bit of flair. Anthony Martial was really the only one offering that kind of verve and that attacking intent. Everyone else was sort of going through the motions as per usual. I think the big difference today was that we were playing a Swansea City side that are very low on confidence, and they gave us a good go. I mean, and they gave it everything they had, but ultimately we were a bit luckier against this Swansea team than we have been in the past few weeks and few months really, when we've been playing out really dull 0-0 draws at Old Trafford. And the fact that it was the same old for most of the game, sort of indicates to me that this isn't some big renaissance for Manchester United. This isn't like the end of all our worries. Yes, it's a fantastic win. Yes, it's very vital that we won this game, because if we hadn't won it, I mean, we could forget about the prep. Well, to be honest, we might already be able to forget about winning the Premier League title, but we could almost forget about top four if we hadn't won this game. We can't afford to drop any more points at home really this season, and this is a big month coming up for us, and we needed to start the new year off right, and hopefully that will put a bit more confidence into the players. I mean, if there's one thing the Premier League has proven this season, it's that football is a funny game of momentum. I mean, you look at Leicester City, who started well and managed to carry that through all the way until a couple of weeks ago. I think they've got three blanks in a row now after having scored in 18 consecutive Premier League games, like 17 or 18, something ridiculous. And this is Leicester City we're talking about, And then at the opposite end of it, you've got Chelsea, a team who won the Premier League at a canter last year, ending up, sacking their manager in December because of all the discontent among the players. Little things like that can really affect a team's fortunes, and hopefully a win like this, even if it was a bit jammy, even if it did come, at the expense of a decent Swansea performance that maybe merited a point, it gets the job done, it gets the players fired up, and it gets them their confidence back a bit. And hopefully, coming in the next few weeks, we'll be getting some more of our players back, and we'll be able to really make a charge and put together a run of games that will probably be able to at least get us into the top four. Because at this point, we were talking about challenging for the title for most of the first half of the season, but after the nightmare that was December, I'll take top four. If you offered me fourth right now, I'd bite your hand off. So it works for me as far as I'm concerned. And like I mentioned earlier, Anthony Martial was really the only attacking verve we kind of had in the team, and his class has been evident all season. Anyone who said he was a waste of money at the British tabloids before he'd even played a game really didn't know what they were talking about. They probably hadn't even seen him play. He has been absolutely fantastic, and this player is 20 years old. He's got bags of potential, and if he stays on this trajectory, give it 6 years, and he could be a Ballon d'Or winner in a Manchester United shirt. He really was fantastic today. He offered us a lot going down the left. That's the sort of, the pace, the guile, the confidence that we wanted to see from Memphis Depay this season that we really haven't seen, which is, I think, why Van Gaal is electing to put him on the left, because as many people are saying we need to put him through the middle, he's effective on the left. He basically was the only reason we scored any goals today. He came into the middle to head us in front. Good header after Ashley Young's ball went a couple of inches over Wayne Rooney's head. Story of Wayne Rooney's season, really. He's a bit too short to be a centre forward, if you ask me, and he doesn't quite have the leap on him that he used to. But Martial was following up, no one marking him inexplicably. Good header into the back of the net. Another good cross from Ashley Young, who really is an underrated player at Man United, in my opinion, considering he's been played out of position the entire year. One of the fullback positions, more typically. He's really proven that he can defend, that he can tackle, that he can still get forward and get crosses in. So well done to Ashley Young for that. And when it went 1-0, very start of the second half, I thought, okay, let's kick on, let's get a couple of goals. But just like United have been all season, we get a good start to a game or a good start to a second half, and then we don't put a team away, and we end up letting them get back into it. And that's exactly what happened here. I'm a big fan, of players like Daley Blind, and Matteo Darmian and players like that, but for whatever reason, our fullbacks really have trouble when we get players like Mamadou Barrow, I think is his name, who came on and really worked a treat for Alan Curtis. Good for him for, spotting that that was a weakness in our team and putting him on our left back. And he really just had him on toast for the last, half hour of the game. And he put in a good ball. And fair play, Sigurdsson gets above his marker and puts Swansea back in the game. And at this point, 20 minutes to go, I'm thinking, God, we're probably more likely to lose it at this point, because our confidence is just that fragile at the moment. But then step up Anthony Martial once again with another brilliant bit of skill down the left-hand side, gets the ball in, and very similar to the goal that should have been on Monday against Chelsea, when he did the exact same thing and Ander Herrera got a decent contact on it, and Thibaut Courtois gambled and won, the lottery there when he managed to save that. This time it was Wayne Rooney. Ball was going away from him, and a sublime back heel into the top corner. That is the kind of confidence boost Wayne Rooney needed. I mean, I saw a lot of stats floating around before and after the game talking about how Wayne Rooney only scored 6 Premier League goals in all of 2015, which is an atrocious record for someone of his talents, especially when you consider that he's been playing in a very advanced role, especially this season. So hopefully that one goal to get him kicked off, we've been saying it every time he scores, maybe this will be the one where he kicks on, or maybe this will be the one where he kicks on. Psychology really does play a part in these games, and him thinking that he's got a fresh start in 2016, we've just snapped a losing run, you could see it happening, couldn't you? Well, maybe not. We'll wait and see. Hopefully Wayne Rooney will start scoring some goals, because God knows we need it. The confidence does come back into the team now, and, like I said, every time we get a victory, you need to kick on, you need to put together a run of form, and in this division at this point, we're, 9 points off Arsenal on the top of the table, you put together a run of 3 games and you're right in the mix again, because everybody's slipping up here and there, I mean, Man City got out of jail against Watford, and poor old Watford seemed to lose 2-1 at home to everybody nowadays, and Arsenal, needed a very... To be fair, needs to be very lucky at home to Newcastle to win that game 1-0. So everybody can beat everybody in this league at this point. So you should never assume that any gap that is, in single digits is insurmountable, especially with pretty much half of the season to go. So I'm not giving up hope. Last season we saw United come out of nowhere to put together a run of 6 games on the bounce, which nearly had us in second place. If we hadn't gone and lost, 3 out of our last 5 games, we might have finished second last year. So a run of games can really do the world of good. You look at a team like Spurs, who, were just sort of floating around in that same area they always are, 6th, 7th. All of a sudden they've won 3 games they win 3 games in a row, and people are talking about them as title challengers. They obviously got brought down to earth today when they drew with Everton, and that was good for us because we needed somebody in the top 4 to drop points to make this win a bit more, substantial. So now we're only 3 points behind Spurs, but the fact of the matter is we shouldn't be even 3 points behind Spurs. We should be ahead of them. It was that horror show of a December that really put us on the back foot. But I have faith in Louis van Gaal. I've seen from the players that they're willing to fight, that they're willing to put in the effort. And I'm just hoping that, over the next few games, we can get to put a run of games together, get our form, back where it needs to be, and kick on and hopefully get where we want to be for the season. And leaving it at that, I'd say my man of the match obviously was Anthony Martial. Scored a great goal for the first one and put together a really nice move for the assist for the second one. Easiest man of the match of the season so far, if you ask me. He looks like a great player, and I hope that he stays fit all season so that he can really continue to prove all the doubters wrong about that massive price tag that no one seems to mention anymore, because he's just that good. If you've enjoyed the video, like it, share it, get it out there. Even if you haven't, comment, tell me why you didn't like it. I'd love to talk to you guys, anyone who's watching the video. Love having conversations about this, as you can probably tell. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.